What's up everyone, I'm Lando Norris and welcome to my helmet collection. Turn the speakers up to full. I'm a pro, mate. What season is this helmet from? This must be from 2009. Freaking long time ago. From one of my first seasons in karting. It's my first painted helmet that I ever got. I think I got it in my first full racing season, so when I was 8 years old. It kind of was the same colors as the go-kart that I was racing, which was orange and black and chrome, so it kind of went all together really well. Inspiration from helmet design was, of course, Valentino Rossi. He was the guy I loved at the time, still do. This is basically a copy of his sun. Obviously, he normally has the moon as well, his sun in the moon. In my own colors, a little bit, but this was the first interpretation of what I wanted to show on a helmet. Still, to this day, one of my favorites of my whole collection. I'd say the most unique thing with this helmet is the front. This is the first one, and it was actually my dad's idea that, I don't know why, he wanted it very obvious to everyone, for everyone to know who I am. In the biggest text possible, we put Lando on the front. What season is this helmet from? After I won the World Championship in 2014. So this is actually quite a few years later. There was some more helmets in between, but I don't have any at my house. Already quite a few variants. I was racing KF2, so it was the Senior Karting Championship. This helmet itself, I actually never raced. This was meant to arrive for the World Championship, but it didn't arrive on time. And I don't know if it was a curse or a blessing in disguise that I then won the World Championship. Maybe it was because I didn't wear this helmet. So the main differences from this one to the previous one is colors. The fluorescent, the yellow kind of started. This is where I started to get a lot more into the Valentino Rossi yellow side of it. Before it was just the design, not really the colors. So that was one, but then two is an evolution of the sun on the side, extending these flame parts of it. Some bits are really random and I have no idea why I chose them, like the tribal things here. So some things which are an evolution of how it started. So this is Formula 2. It's very similar to my Formula 3 one from 2017, but this is straight to before Formula 1. Carlin colors, still rocking the yellow, but this is from 2018. This helmet itself is for Monaco. So that's why you got the cards, casino. Probably get cancelled for this, but I got a girl on it. No men, sadly. Design-wise, again, an evolution of what I had, and probably my most concurrent design with how things flow around the helmet. So this line around the back, which started on the previous helmet you saw, these lines then are extending a little bit more into a slightly different shape. More simple, I would say, more current version of my design. This is a lot more me and less Valentino Rossi.
I think this is the first helmet that we've got the LN on the side. When did that logo get introduced?
It must have got introduced in 2017, I think. Maybe 2016. My first logo was the Lando that you saw on the chin, you know, the massive Lando. Then on the previous helmet, there was the little Lando that you saw on the front, just above the visor, which was my second iteration of a logo. Then I went pro. I started speaking to professionals, and this was the next evolution of my helmet. Yeah, 2017, 2018 was when I started having a logo and I wanted to start to use it a little bit more. The beauty. So now we've made it to Formula 1. This is 2019, first season of Formula 1, Japanese Grand Prix. Inspiration for this helmet was the fact that I gave it to a designer. I forgot what her name was. Handmade by Ikmezukake Winand. And it's all hand brushed. Obviously the yellow isn't. The yellow's like a base coat. Everything else is done by hand with a paintbrush. Japanese great artists and everything out there. And she just came up with this pretty awesome design. My logo again, but a Japanese way of doing it, I guess. But I just let them loose. Like I got to this point where I had this main design for a helmet. The yellow, the blue went well with the McLaren car. Didn't really know what I wanted from a helmet, so I decided to let some artists or different designers come up with different things. And for the Japanese Grand Prix, this is what she came up with. Most helmets nowadays are just airbrushed and spray gunned. All of these little flowers and things. You can't recreate this, or you can't do it with a spray gun. You know, it comes out in too much of like a gradient or a solid color, and you don't get this texture, which obviously you behind the camera can't feel. But you can literally feel all the paint where it's laid up and the textures of it all much more than you do ever with an airbrush. So a lot more of just a raw, natural painting. Pizza. Italy. What do you love about Italy? Pizza. Yeah. This is 2020, last year. At this point, I was almost having a new helmet for every single race. This is just one of these many helmets. But something like the design would always be something that related very well to that place that we raced in or that racetrack and so on. This was just Italy as an outright basis. Pepperoni pizza, margarita pizza. I love margarita, I hate pepperoni, but a lot of other people I know like pepperoni, so I just thought I should add it. But yeah, this was my inspiration for this Italian race. Rocking the small Italian flag all the way around the helmet everywhere. Actually one of the most liked helmets I've done. I love the carbon fiber side of it. All matte finish, no shiny, no gloss. The reason I changed it so much, because I can, because I love it. Like I love being able to do these things. I love keeping all of my helmets. It's the one thing that I get to keep personally. I don't even get to keep my real trophies. I also get to have all my input on, design it myself, work with different designers and artists. And I think just it's awesome, coming up with all these different ideas and different colors and schemes and so on. But yeah, I love it. And of course, finishing with my logo on the side, my latest logo, which is the L, the N, and then in the negative space is the 4, of course, my number. This is also 2020, one of many helmets I had that year. Obviously, rather different to every helmet you've seen so far. This was my Silverstone Grand Prix special helmet, which was designed by none other than Eva. 6-year-old Eva, in fact. We ran a competition, giving a chance for all fans to kind of come up with their own designs for me to use in the race. Because I love doing this, I love coming up with all these different designs. I even started and loved doing it when I was a little kid, when I was 6, 7, 8 years old, growing up, watching Formula 1. So this reminded me massively of back then when I was a kid. It's just very different, you know. Incredible designs that we had on the entries, you know, were all done on Photoshop and looked amazing and so on. But this is just so unique, so different to the rest of them. Obviously pretty cool. This is for one of the final races of the season. Bahrain, first time I got you introduced to the world. Quadrant was a big announcement. This is what we came up with. You know, it was my chance to publicize Quadrant, which we're not allowed to do. I'm not allowed to just put whatever I want on the lid. I can have certain things, but I can't have different companies that aren't part of McLaren and so on. McLaren very kindly let me rock one of the helmets for the season, just based on Quadrant. When we released Quadrant, a lot of the designs and graphics are based on that. So like the geometric shapes in the middle, the crosses. Yeah, mainly colors. Quadrant is another way of me showing what I love and what I like doing and what I've spent a lot of time on. So kind of keeping the colors of myself, the yellow most importantly, the fluorescent yellow, but keeping it on the stealth side, the black, the matte black, the chrome, the cool side of it. So quadranted up. So unseen content here. Because everyone loved the Quadrant helmet so much and McLaren is so very kind, they've allowed me to do it again this year, 2021. We have the design and then we have pictures of the painted helmet itself. So I can show you the two little concepts we have. But here we have it. Some things very similar. The design itself, the shapes and so on. Try to brighten it up a little bit. This was Bahrain, this was a night race, so to have the kind of the black, the stealth side of it was really cool. This one I don't know where I'm going to be using. So we wanted to brighten it up a little bit. Have the contrast a bit more based on the Quadrant and the yellow and black itself. Hopefully there was no naughty pictures. I don't know what you've been keeping on there, mate. I saw something. So yeah, so this was the final concept, final design, and then we shifted to, as close to the real thing as possible, the painted helmet itself. It's come out even better, I would say, than I was thinking. I'll make my dad happy. Here we have Pure Electric, where you can buy your electric scooter or bike online now at Pure Electric. Yeah, so this is the actual product itself. So I have two of them, one that maybe I don't get to keep, maybe I'll be giving it to someone, and one that I always get to keep. And of course, the only important thing that's on the helmet, Quadrant. As some of you may have seen last season, when we released this helmet, we also released a line of mini helmets, which quite a few of you got your hands on, maybe not everyone. So I decided to give you another opportunity. If you want a mini helmet of this design here, keep your eyes peeled and be ready to click buy now whenever I say it's gonna get released, because I don't know when it's gonna get released. Just wait, because it will be coming soon. So everyone, that was my helmet collection. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You'll be surprised by how many people watch Team Quadrant YouTube videos, but aren't subscribed to them. So make sure you subscribe now and click the notification bell. Thank you so much. See you soon.